Guys, I have some really interesting breaking news for you that has to do with the next generation Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyon midsize trucks. I'm talking about the 2023 models. Yes, it's still at least 2 to 3 years away, and this information is unofficial. The source for the news that I'm sharing today is musclecarsandtrucks.com. And this source is reporting the following: that the next generation midsize trucks from General Motors will go to just one engine and transmission powertrain combination. They're going to drop basically all of the current powertrains that they're using right now. So in this video, I'm going to break it down, share with you exactly what this news is, according to this insider information based on musclecarsandtrucks.com, and then see how it compares against the competition and what others are doing in the midsize truck segment. So let's hit it right off the bat. First, is the diesel gone? This news is actually shared through several sources already this week, and it's based in the fact that there is information that General Motors is selling their plant in Thailand that actually builds the current 2.8 liter diesel engine, which is their four-cylinder. It's the baby Duramax. It's the one that they've been using for several years with lots of success across their both Chevy and GMC lineups. And I want to share a few videos with you here as we're talking about this news. We've tested the 2.8 liter diesel thoroughly through the years. When it first came out in a 2016 model year, this was almost 5 years ago. We put it on the MPG test, as you can see here. We took it on the iGauntlet World's Toughest Towing Test, as you can see right here. In this MPG loop, where we tested the GMC Canyon, we got over 32 MPG combined. I'm sorry. In this MPG test that we did on a highway, Nathan and I did this video, we got over 32 MPG on the highway. And this is us setting it up. And I mean, this was quite remarkable. Actually, the actual result was 31.3 miles per gallon. So this engine is very efficient. It's been very clean. It never had really an issue as far as their emissions, certifications and regulations. And it's also been pretty powerful. It's done very well on the iGauntlet World's Toughest Towing Test, as you can see right here. And we even voted for this engine and this truck for Truck of the Year previously in our Gold Hitch competitions. The engine currently produces 186 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, and it's rumored to be gone in a couple of years, based specifically on General Motors kind of restructuring their global operations on midsize trucks and actually selling that plant in Thailand where that engine was coming from and maybe reshuffling and reorganizing. Next up on the chopping block is the 3.6 liter V6 gas engine, naturally aspirated engine that's been there for a long time as well. This particular engine is also in other General Motors vehicles, so I'm not quite sure exactly why it's going to go away. It's been a pretty solid engine for them. It's made it to an 8-speed automatic currently. It's been a very quick engine in their truck. We've tested several trucks with this engine, 0 to 60 times. It's been really, really strong. But this news says that this engine will also be discontinued. I'm not quite sure exactly what that means for the 3.6 liter V6 in other vehicles, because GM is using it in several crossovers and several other vehicles across their lineup. So does that mean the engine completely goes away? Or what? And then the 2.5 liter base motor that's available in the Colorado and GMC Canyon is also rumored to go away. So what we're seeing here is consolidation. So 3 engines are on the way out in the next gen in about 3 years. So what's coming in? What the rumor says, this unofficial report says, that it is the 2.7 liter straight 4 turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that made its debut almost 2 years ago in the bigger full-size truck, the Chevy Silverado, and of course the GMC Sierra. I was really fortunate. I was one of the first to actually drive this truck, the Silverado, with a Turbo 4. at their proving grounds, at the General Motors proving grounds in Michigan. And I was quite surprised. It didn't have almost any noticeable turbo lag. It's very high-tech engine. It produces 310 horsepower and 348 pound-feet of torque. And it's currently made it in the Silverado to an 8-speed automatic, as well as this in the Sierra. And it accelerates well. The Silverado and the Sierra maybe are a little bit big, heavy vehicles for this kind of a smaller displacement 4-cylinder engine, but they do just fine, and it's a fairly good, has fairly good fuel efficiency. So here is me actually looking at this engine for the first time in Michigan and learning everything about it. It's very clever. This engine has different valve modes. It can run on 2 cylinders or 4 cylinders for fuel, to save fuel. It has very neat and high-tech cooling system to warm up the engine fast and cool it down fast. The turbocharger is very clever to help eliminate lag. So it's a very, very high-tech engine. And apparently, it will be in the new next-gen Colorado and Canyon, according to this report. And if I had $1 for every email I got from you guys talking about when the Colorado will get the 2.7-liter turbo, I think I could buy a Chevy Colorado by now. You guys have asked this question dozens and dozens and hundreds of times, and this information kind of confirms that unofficially. Once again, General Motors has not made an official comment about any of this because it's still several years away, and manufacturers don't make future-looking statements that go that far out, for sure. And we've tested this engine on the Gauntlet. Once again, fuel efficiency runs. The 2.7-liter turbo has been very strong. And I think it's going to be pretty spectacular in a smaller vehicle because you're carrying less weight. And it could be even obviously quicker, more efficient, and just more, just more fun overall. Then there's another item in this report that GM is shifting to kind of a global picture. So they'll be sharing platform for all midsize trucks across the globe. They have a Chevy Colorado overseas in other markets. The trucks look different. They have different specifications. They may have different power plants or transmissions in different markets. But the information that's coming here says that the Colorado Next Gen and the Canyon Next Gen will share a lot more parts globally. So we'll have to wait and see how that shakes out. But is there a precedent for this? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a ton of precedent for consolidating mid-size truck offerings. Just about a month ago, almost, not even a month ago, we had a chance to review the new 2020 Nissan Frontier. Here's me at the test track. I am doing some 0 to 60 testing, fuel efficiency testing on the new engine. It's a new 3.8 liter, and it has a new power rating, 310 horsepower. By the way, the same as a 2.7 GM turbo, and 281 pound-feet of torque from this V6 in the Nissan. And it's now made it to a 9-speed automatic in this new Frontier. And the next-gen Frontier is coming for 2021 model year. So first of all, there's increased competition here, and the next Nissan Frontier will only be available, as far as we know now, with one powertrain, the 3.8-liter V6 with a 9-speed. So consolidation, once again, the old V6 is gone from the Nissan, the old 4-cylinder engine is gone, consolidation. More news, right? More competition. All right, let's look at what Ford is doing. Ford Ranger came on the scene, almost 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, with their Ford Ranger. They offer only one engine transmission choice. It's their 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Their engine produces 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque, which is the torquiest gas engine currently in the segment, and made it to a 10-speed automatic. So this report says that Chevrolet and GMC are looking to do something similar. Kind of makes sense. Competition is doing a lot of this already. Ford is sharing their Ranger platform globally. Once again, trying to use economies of scale and actually get, maybe get better profit based on their vehicle. And Ford just almost a week ago announced that they're doing a power boost on their Ford Ranger, which means they're offering a factory tune basically on their engine that's going to add 45 horsepower and 60 pound-feet of torque. This is mind-boggling from the factory. This is not aftermarket. From the factory as an option. Um, it includes an air filter and it costs $825. This would put it at 315 horsepower and 370 pound-feet of torque, which is pretty crazy numbers, class-leading numbers for this tuned engine. So there's a lot of possibility there. GM, of course, can tune their engine as well. They have more displacement. They potentially have more capacity to build more power. Of course, this war could go on for a very long time. Tacoma is still soldiering on in its current form. It still has two engine options right now. No diesel has been available in the United States in a Toyota. And of course, their 3.5 liter V6 is still there. But if we look forward 3 years, a next generation Tacoma should also be coming. And if rumors are correct, and the next Toyota Tundra is getting a twin turbo V6, then the next Tacoma might be getting a turbocharged gas engine as well. So this all kind of makes sense. It all comes together. All the competitors are kind of going the line of smaller displacement, turbocharging, focusing on gasoline power, because these new gas engines are getting very, very high tech, but also very clean, very powerful, very efficient. So all of the elements are coming together. My final question, I guess, is what about electrification? None of these new reports mention electrification for the mid-size truck segment, but we know General Motors is working on their next gen all-electric, GMC Hummer EV and other vehicles. Other companies like Toyota are working on fuel cell technologies. So I'm sure there's a lot here. Of course, there's a next generation F-150 hybrid is coming. So we could see a lot more rejuvenated powertrain choices. So if you're sad that the diesel, the baby Duramax may be going away, or maybe the 3.6 liter V6 is going away, I think the future is relatively bright because turbocharging is not a bad thing, especially at the elevation where we are. You can get a lot of punch, you could still tow trailers, and still get a lot of overall performance. What about cost? I don't know. We have no idea about pricing information, but hopefully this global view on the new GM midsize trucks will be able to lower or actually keep the pricing the same, approximately the same, so these trucks don't get super expensive. And guys, go back to TFLtruck.com for the latest news, views, and reviews. Thank you.